So Space is back with another Monad update for you guys. Hey, people in my comment section, man, that one person, I should have found your comment. They had a target of 2 cent back to 1.7 cent for Monad, and it looks like it's getting to their target, man. For people that, never invested an amount, that never overexposed themselves to Monad, never overinvested, they're chilling. We're chilling, right? For people that overinvested, I know for a fact they're feeling super emotional right now. They're thinking this thing is gonna go to zero. They're on edge. They can't get any sleep. They got 50K, 100K, 200K Monad. They first bought around 3 cent recently, and now their money's cut in half, and they're like, man, what do I do? What do I do? Right? Hey, this is why I say never invest more than you're willing to lose, man, because you just never know what happens, what could happen in this market, guys. Monad was looking fantastic. I never expected that person in my comment section to be right. If you see this video, you could definitely comment down below, because you do deserve your props, man. You called that TA perfectly, right? You said we would retest 2 cent to 1.7 cent, right? But this is why I preached, DCA, dollar cost averaging, right? That's why I preached that for altcoins. Meme coins, I don't know about that. But altcoins with good fundamentals, that's why I preached that, right? Because Monad is a great altcoin with great fundamentals. So, this is why I say, our first buy, it's almost back to our first buy of 1.85 cent, right? But for the people that saw Monad starting to move up, I said, dollar cost averaging, don't buy the pumps, buy the dips, right? For example, someone bought Monad recently at 3 cent, and now their money's almost cut in half. But if they dollar cost averaged in, they would have bought just a small percent of their initial. Say they had $2,000 at 3 cent, they could have just bought a small percent, which is what I said to do. Small percent of your money that you wanted to invest. You had $2,000, you put $200 in at 3 cent. And then you saw it drop to 2.5 cent. You put another couple $100 in. Then you saw it drop to 2 cent. You do another couple, and that's how you do it until you fully have that allocation of that $2,000, right? And now you lowered your average. Whenever Monad does rebound from here, you're in a great spot, right? Some people put their entire buy in at 3 cent, and now they're gonna be on edge, right? But again, this is why I say we have to be as strategic as possible when it comes to this space. This is the most difficult asset class to trade, but it is the most rewarding, right? I saw it with 2024. I had, barely any money to my name, and I did extremely well in 2024. Didn't take profits as best as I could have because that was the first time I made money like that. But, I still did it, right? From nothing, from basically nothing, I still did it, right? So I know how rewarding this space is, even though it's extremely painful and difficult now. You just have to keep pushing, right? So I think Monad still is a great gem, still is a great altcoin, and I'm not gonna switch up on my thesis. I'm not gonna switch up on the ecosystem because we are consolidating, having corrections now, because the turnarounds, the bounces, the upside is massive, right? So you have to be able to risk that and hold through that downside, though, the painful days, the red days, right? So if you take a look at Monad, Trendle is now live on Monad. So this is another massive partnership for Monad. Trendle turns narratives and attention into tradable markets. Head over to their page if you want an invite code. So Trendle is, basically like an attention economy for Monad, which is great, right? So you could use, let me turn down the volume a bit. I think it's a bit too loud. Right? So basically, it's like trading like the social market, right? Similar to what we covered with Zora on the channel, but its own take on it, where you use different social platforms, X, and then you could trade that attention, right? Right, so Trendle closed beta live on Monad, so now you could go and test it out for yourself and trade the social attention economy. that's why, you know, I'm bullish on projects that I mentioned like Zora, because that the attention economy, the creator economy is an untapped market, right? Compared to like memes and other projects in the space, that is such an untapped market, and whoever successfully pulls that off is gonna create so many you know, millionaires, right? And of course they're gonna be a billionaire as well too. But whoever, it really boils down to whoever pulls that off. So maybe Trendle, not Trendle, I read it wrong, my apologies. Trendlefy is going to be that, you know, leading Dapp for Monad, right? We'll see, right? But good update from Monad here. You love to see new Dapps on the protocol, and that's what it's gonna take, right? Because Monad is so scalable, 10,000 TPS, all these new Dapps, all these users could trade on it like Solana, but even to an even faster, higher volume, you know, capacity, right? So, as always, guys, great update here. The fundamentals still remain, even if the price action is, you know, on, you know, the downside. Fundamentals are still remain for Monad. So, as always, none of this is financial advice, guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share the videos. Never invest more than you're willing to lose, and I'll catch you in the next one.